Good evening, everyone, and happy April Fool's Day. Can you believe we are into the second quarter of the year already? It's absolutely flown by. Welcome to Natter. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Natalie Healy-Shields. I've been in marketing for all of my career. I got made redundant twice, and that took me into the world of network marketing. So my mum had been in the industry already for about 12 years. And saying, Nat, have a look. And finally I did. Like a lot of people, I thought, this wouldn't be for me. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. But when I looked into the industry, I saw something completely different. And this has taken me from strength to strength. And I'm proud to have a team that's active all around the world doing amazing, amazing things. Now, what is Nat's Natter about? Each week I interview someone either from a network marketing background or somebody that has had to take a business online since the pandemic. And tonight we are talking to someone from a traditional business that has had to make the changes that so many people have had to do in the past year. So the person that we're talking to is actually a great friend of mine. We've known each other since we were 18 at university. We actually did media and communication studies together. We went on to travel the world, and now Vanda has done all sorts of things. And the latest thing she has done is got involved with this company now with her friend John called Cultivating Wonder. And what it is a photography course. So you, like me, have probably got children, because that's probably why we're connected, because we're mums and parents and thinking, oh my word, it's the school holidays. What are we going to be doing? We've had the kids at home for nearly a year. And this is an amazing concept that they've come up with. Not only can kids be creative, but they can also be on this course and give you some time as well to get on with your own things. So that's enough from me. Let me introduce you to Jonathan, who is the founder of the course, and my very lovely friend, Vanda. And before we get started, guys, let's just tell everyone that people can win one place on your amazing photography course. And all you've got to do, guys, is like and share this now, and just tag a friend into the comments that's got children too, between the age of 5 and 16. And you could be someone winning a place for your children. So tag, share, and ask a friend too in the comments as well to take a look. So John, let me start off with you. You're the founder of Cultivating Wonder. Tell me a bit about your background first and how lockdown affected your business.
So thank you. It's so great having me on this show, actually. Thank you so much. So I'm a professional photographer. Half my work is with families and children, and the other half is with branding and entrepreneurs, small business owners. And I got a couple of big clients, John Lewis and M&S, and I was doing really well. And then beginning of lockdown happened. And like a lot of creatives, photographers and videographers, all my work seemed to fall off a cliff. And I was wondering what I was going to do next. If I go backwards 2 months before lockdown, I was down in Devon seeing a good friend of mine. And we were all going for a walk with her and her 2 children in the woods. And the 12-year-old Esther started asking me lots of questions about photography, about wonder, about creativity. And as I drove back to Oxford, where I live, on the M4 and the M5, these questions stayed in my head, and I just let them marinate for a while. And that carried on until the beginning of lockdown in March last year, at which point I decided I'm going to do a course for children. I Googled mindfulness courses for children, photography and mindfulness, thinking, I want kids to be more present and learn more about nature and falling in love with nature and so on. I couldn't find another course online anywhere in the world on photography and mindfulness. I thought, this can't be true. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do a course on it. And Esther, the 12-year-old, bless her, really left a lot of kind of questions in my head and so on. So I set this course up at the beginning of April last year, asking a few parents, friends of mine, would you like to do a course for your kids? Thinking there'd be 1 or 2, and we had loads and loads and loads, and it was really quite a big success. That's the beginning of the course. Yeah.
amazing to hear. And, you know, I've got a 3-year-old, a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old, and all of them, even, well, particularly the 3-year-old, loves to pick up my phone, take photos, constantly looking at photos. And it's become really, you know, a part of growing up, isn't it? Because they all seem to have either devices or access to devices, and taking photos and looking at them there and then is just, you know, something that's become part of the norm, I guess. So, Vanda, how did you get involved in the business?
Well, John and I have known each other for many years. John's an old friend of the family. He was best man at our wedding. And so I've known John for a long time. He's done loads of photo shoots with us as a family. And so when I heard about this course, you know, he's a friend, so we were supporting him and thinking, yes. But as soon as my pair did it, I suddenly got what was so brilliant about it.
And how old are your children, Van?
So Elodie is 11, Barney has just gone 10. But when they initially did it, they did it about probably about a year ago. They did it about a year ago, but the difference I've seen in them has been it's taken me, I haven't sort of, I wasn't really initially sort of getting on board. I was just sort of, you know, a mum, happy with them being occupied and busy. But when I've seen what it is the course is doing, and now obviously a lot of mindfulness has been added to it, which I think particularly from lockdown, I think we've all probably become more aware of how important looking after our well-being and mental health is. Yeah, I'm just on board really within that capacity, just knowing how great it is and what's happened to my pair.
Been, a big thing, the mental health of children of all ages, because it's been totally, you know, abnormal for them not being able to see their friends and being around people. And in fact, I was over at my sister's yesterday, and my little niece, so Molly, she is how old is she? 9, and she was chatting on FaceTime, playing with the dolls with a friend. And I said, you know, how different life has become to be able to do that and affecting them. But again, you know, there they are with that camera in front of them, which has become the normal. So what sort of device do children need to be able to do this?
Anything. I mean, 80% of the last 2 courses, kids have only used a camera phone. Some parents are a bit nervous about getting kids who are 5 or 6 on using a phone. So what we often recommend is they go onto eBay and they just buy an iPhone 5 or an iPhone 6 or an 8 for 30, 40, 50 pounds. Don't get it on linked to the internet, so they can't text, they can't call, they can't go on the internet, but they can use it for the camera phone, which is really good. And actually the iPhone and the new Samsungs, they are excellent cameras with brilliant focusing. And then about 20% of kids use a proper camera that their parents have got them for Christmas or something, but vast majority is camera phones.
So or they're borrowing their parents, I presume, and using their parents' cameras. So what actually does the course involve then? Just walk us through what happens.
So there's 4 weeks. There's a 4-week course, and we asked parents to sign up to a platform called Teachable, where we have 4 films that are 12 minutes long, very short films that children watch with their parents, and then they go out and do loads of activities following that. So we have things like they've got to look outside their bedroom window every day for a minute and spot 3 or 4 things that they haven't seen the day before. They have to go on a nature walk and collect acorns and leaves and twigs, and then make a nature crown out of it and do scavenging hunts. They've got to look outside their bedroom window and see the stars. They have to sit in the garden at 10 o'clock at night, one night on a weekend, and take a photograph. They have to take photographs of themselves. We're kind of reversing selfies. So rather than teach selfies, we teach self-portraiture. And we do it for things like puddles and car windows and reflections in shops rather than the classic selfie, which is how most... because selfies are very, you know, is a new name for self-portraiture. And self-portraiture has been around as long as photography. But we want to teach it, we want to kind of demystify it. And we also do, a third of the activities have got nothing to do with photography. They're based around mindfulness, things like look at yourself in the mirror and write down things you like about your face, or write a letter to your parents, a love letter to your parents, or a thank you card to one of your friends, or keep a happiness jar. and write down things that make you happy. And then when you're sad, pull out one of those things and hopefully make you smile. So we've really repivoted the course to be based about well-being and mindfulness as much as photography.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of things that I actually teach in my business as well to the people working alongside me. And one of the things like the happiness jar is to actually, when you do something great, a memory, to make a memory jar. And then at the start of the next year, pick out all those wonderful things you did during the 12 months previous. So lovely, lovely ideas. So then I presume these are uploaded onto a group, or how do you get to see what the children are doing?
So the children go on to Teachable every week, and they download the PDF worksheets, and then they basically spend most of the time outside. It's kind of similar to a forest school activity, and most of the stuff is requiring to be outside. The films are very short deliberately because we don't want kids to be online. But what they do, they join a Facebook group. Their parents join a pop-up Facebook group that is for the course, and we have it's like a summer school. All the parents and the kids come onto the group together, they put their photos on, and every week we go live, a team of photographers and I, and we review all the photos. Every single photo taken by a child, we look at, we talk about, and we try and encourage them and affirm them. And we think that's really important. So even a photograph that's not brilliant or out of focus, you can still find something good to say about.
And do you run competitions or do prizes for the kids?
We do run competitions and prizes on our main Facebook group, which is exciting. We are actually thinking about having our first competition next year called the Esther Awards, named after the 12-year-old girl who inspired me to do the course. We're going to have the London Hilton. They're going to be hosting a national prize giving ceremony for photography awards in 2022. So kids from all over the country will be able to enter that. And that's
incredible.
Yeah.
And would you say that kids need to have some experience before they come, or is this completely for the brand new child that knows nothing about taking a photo?
Absolutely, you need no experience at all. We will walk and talk you through what you need to do, and basically, as long as a child has got some kind of curiosity or inquisitive about the world, which every child has, that's all it takes to become a good photographer.
So presumably as well then, mum doesn't need to be too involved, or dad. They might be there just helping set up, but then the little ones or bigger ones will go off and do the task and bring it back, and giving us all some time to work at home for those of us that are still.
Absolutely.
So what benefits have you seen of some of the children that have been on it?
Well, we have. So one of the reason, as Vanda pointed out, that the course has been pivoted or has changed between the first and the second course. The first course was some aspects of mindfulness and working with mental health, but we massively rewrote the course after the first course. I had no idea about the pandemic that kids were going under, mental health and the struggles. So I got a good friend of mine who's a professional photographer in Jersey, and we rewrote the entire course between the first and the second course in August to include lots of mindfulness activities that weren't in the first course. And we found that children, their well-being is better. It really helps kids who are shy because it gives them something to find their voice. They don't have to be center of attention. They don't have to be in front of the camera, but they can find a hobby. Helps with their sleep. It helps with their other work. It gives them massive affirmation from parents and encouragement from parents.
So Vanda, since your children have been on the course, have they been actively going off after the course and wanting to take photos and maybe seeing things differently? What have you seen since?
Well, I think that was the thing that struck me. I noticed that, we're quite a sort of an outdoorsy, nature-loving sort of family anyway. But what I was finding is I'm sort of literally dragging them out, or, go and have some time in the garden so I could do some work or whatever. But actually, since doing the course, it's like they've been given a new eye. They can see things. They're just, there's a sort of almost like a level of contentedness that I can see. And actually sort of, that particularly my youngest, Barney, he needs you with him. He likes to have a little friend doing everything with him. And what's been lovely for me is actually he's been help, he's sort of been occupied. He'll just go out into the garden now, and he'll borrow my phone, he'll sort of go around, and he comes back and he's seen things, maybe it's he's learning new birds, he's kind of noticing how a twig's broken in a particular way, and stuff. I mean, it's just wonderful when you actually want a little bit of time to to yourself. But actually, it's such a gift, because I think what you were talking about earlier, Nat, about this sort of things that you're teaching people later in life, mindfulness and thankfulness, and sort of celebrating, sort of almost developing this sort of culture of celebration and sort of thankfulness, and being happier with simpler things. That came to me much later in my life, and it just has felt such a gift to be able to give that to the children, because John does that so well. My pair love him. That sort of, he's got such a beautiful way of looking at the world, which I know as his friend, because we'll enjoy his company at dinner and things, but actually he captures that in the course, which is why I'm that's why I'm an advocate of it, really, because I can see the difference that it's made for my pair. And my daughter's arty, so it was naturally something she would have probably done, but my little boy's not so much. But actually they've both caught something that's different, and I feel like we've just given them a real gift in that they can occupy themselves and be still, and they don't need to go in the garden and kick a ball around. They can go out and they're noticing things, they're listening, they're seeing things, they're noticing sunsets. It's not me just saying, oh, look how lovely that is, or they're noticing the world. And I just think it's such a beautiful gift we can give them as parents. And really,
do they compete against each other to get the best photo of the sunset now?
My pair are always doing that. Yes, there's always siblings. You can't, one course can't do everything, Nat. But but they are being taught to encourage. I think the culture that John sets up is an encouraging one. So you are noticing other people. Oh, that's it. I like how you've done that. So you show me how you've done this bit. So there is. It's just very warm. It just fills your heart. It's actually very lovely. Some of the values that they're being taught. So. Yeah.
So I guess it's all pre-recorded, so they don't have to be available at certain times to do it. They can just log on, do the worksheets, and then put them in to be assessed in your.
Do you know what's wonderful? It is not the nightmare of I don't know about you, Nat, but for us, homeschool time, this last 3 lockdowns has just taken us over the edge. And I think that lovely thought of it is an online course, but I see it almost like a tutorial, because you're being taught something, and then it's like, now it's your turn, go do it. So it very much it's very much based on them being out, which is great.
So, one thing that has become familiar to everyone since the pandemic is doing things online and seeing how well it can be. Actually, my own children, their results in school have actually been better since being online, because they haven't had those distractions that maybe they have at school. So they can come on, find out what to do, and then go off and do the project and the work, and come back with some lovely ideas and photos. So you've had quite a bit of press coverage about this as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate, actually, and I'll come on to that in 1 second. I just want to carry on what Vanda was saying there, that I think one of the benefits definitely is parents have done things with their kids together, and a lot of the mums have emailed me and said they felt like they got their childhood back themselves. They've visited their own childhood, because basically going for 10 o'clock walks in the garden or going for nature walks together, they've still actually, although it's something kids can do on their own, parents, especially mums who have got full-time jobs and dads who've got full-time jobs, said it's beautiful on a weekend to do a nature walk with their children and see the delight in their kids' eyes. And actually a lot of mums have said, I feel like I'm a child again. I feel like I'm in a Famous Five novel, because actually I've got to really look at the world again, myself. And of course, as you get to adults, we forget that joy, we forget that wonder. We're too busy on the conveyor belt of life with social media and paying bills and so on. And actually, sometimes, what did Roald Dahl say, the author of BFG? He said he wants us all to be like, we should all be childlike, and wonder is increasing. Of course, Harvard Business Study did a thing on this, that the more wonder you have in your life, the more joy you have in life, obviously, the more your mental health is improved. And so a lot of mums have said that actually they want to do this course for adults.
I was going to say, have you had any parents secretly doing it as well with the children?
Yeah, we have. In fact, we're going to do an adult version of the course in the autumn. Mindfulness.
Sounds good. I'd like to be on that.
Absolutely.
With the press coverage, we've been very fortunate, actually. We've been on Radio 4 and BBC Radio Kent and Radio Oxford and the Sunday Times, the Telegraph, the Daily Mail, the Sunday Mail, the Guardian, I'm getting a couple of other Metro. It's just been extraordinary. And I think it was because there's a few key female journalists who write around the area of well-being, mental health and children. And they're absolutely fantastic. And I'm in this a really good Facebook group. But they are brilliant at just promoting startups and say, we're only 11 months old. We only have founded officially on April the 2nd. So actually, I
was interviewing a couple of weeks ago on Natter a team called Toddlers, Teens and In-Betweens, which are two teachers with a mental health background as well that have set up to help, again, mental health for children, which is something that they'd recognised, and also helping parents to understand children more and the things that they're going through. So, if you want to look back at that, if you're listening in, go on to my other episodes and you'll be able to find out a little bit more about that. So for people listening in, so we have got a discount code tonight for people. So you can see going across the bottom of the screen, the different web links where you can get, well, in fact, the first 5 people get 10% off. So the course is £49, is that correct?
Yes, £49. And that's for 4 weeks, and you get life membership to the current course. So you can do it in your own time. If you want to do it over Easter, then redo it in the summer holidays. Quite a few parents buy the course and they do it in one holiday, and then they do it again another holiday. You can have access to the course for the rest of your...
Because the day changes all the time. I think that's, sorry to interrupt you, John. I think part of this is, what I found so fascinating is that it's sort of 4 tutorials, which I don't know about you, but and I'm working out what am I getting for my money sort of thing. Actually, what you're getting actually is so much more than that, because you have, if it's raining outside, my pair are using this course around the house, positioning a teacup in a particular way, or my little boy stop motion has got, we are making tsunamis out of Lego the entire time. And it's just giving them something that kind of keeps on giving. I know it's a real cliche, but it really is. Sorry.
Well, a lot of us are going to be holidaying in the UK this year. And I'm thinking, well, I know that I'm going away with my nephew and niece, Harry and Molly, who are doing the course with you. And while we're away, this is going to be a magical thing to do. We're going to Devon, to the coast. So to be able to do that, or anyone that's going away, and particularly, maybe we're having bad weather and it's not like you can go on the beach or whatever. It's giving an activity that you'd be able to do with your children
at home.
Different holiday times as well. And we've also got 1 free place to give away. So if you're just listening in now, share, tag a friend and and you will be able to, or someone will win a free place, which we will announce tomorrow. So you've got plenty of time to be doing that. And, we all know people with kids, so tag them in and let them see. It could be something for them. So anything else, what's your favorite photo that you've had come in?
Well, we actually had a 17-year-old boy who had severe learning disabilities, and he was basically a mental age of a 6-year-old, but he was 17 or 18, and he had never been allowed to do any course online because he didn't fit the criteria. And so we slightly modified the course for him. We did it one-to-one with him and his mother. And he took his first photograph he'd ever taken in his life of himself in the mirror. And it still makes me emotional when I think about it, because what he did and the delight he got from taking that photo, and then the feedback we gave him over the course, was so profound that it completely changed everything we did on the course. We are now thinking about this boy all the time when we redo courses and we're looking at our future, because he was the reason that we set up Cultivating Wonder, to get this boy to take a photograph the first time in his life, and to actually smile as he took a photograph of himself, and then to get the feedback he got. And we love that photo. That's really good. Another photo we had is that we really love is a girl who was severely bullied at school. She was 13 years old when she did our course and had very bad self-esteem. Again, we did some one-to-one work with her and her mother in mentoring on Zoom, and we encouraged her on the course because we offer mentoring as an extra option. And the photograph she took after she'd done the course was so magical. And now she's 14 and flourishing and flying again. And we just think, you know, what we want to do is we want to just shower kids with kindness, affirmation, and love, and just make them realize actually they are unique and they are so special. There is no ordinary child.
Oh, that's an amazing mission straight away. And you've got a Facebook group as well. Do you have to be a member on the course to come on the Facebook group, or can people come onto the group and have a look what's going on?
So we've got a main Facebook group. If you go onto Facebook, it's facebook.com/groups/Cultivating Wonder 2020. That's all one word, Cultivating
So
Wonder.
what we can do, John, is you can put that in the comments after, so people can find that.
We have single people, we have married people, we have families, we have grandparents. We've got lots of grandparents actually. We've got single fathers, single mums. Lots of people who have joined our group are teachers or working with children, but maybe don't have children themselves. What we want to do is just we want to encourage everyone who has a camera or has a phone just to take photographs and look at the world differently, because it will improve your sleep, it improves your well-being, it improves your mental health. You don't need to have a child to be in our main group. You just need to have a brain and a heart and some kind of passion.
So I'm sure they'll get some inspiration from there and some ideas, and to see, you know, if it's something that they do want to do. So it's been brilliant having you both on here tonight. I can't wait to see how Harry and Molly get on the course. And I'm sure Phoebe will be getting involved as well. And when she's a little bit older, then she will definitely be having a go. Although she takes my phone all the time now anyway. So maybe, you know, maybe she's not that young. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, you know, wish you every success. I think it's an incredible thing that you're doing. And yes, being so creative and thinking on your feet in a pandemic and coming up with answers that are going to not only help people, but also, you know, help their creative talent as well, from the inside and the outside. So thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, for those of you listening, you know, next week I'll be talking to someone from a network marketing background. If you are someone that has also, you know, changed your business, the way you're doing things since the pandemic, then I'd be love to hear from you as well. So just pop me a message and we will get you on soon. So thanks very much, guys, and I wish you every success for the future. See you.
Thank you.